So, I was at a Smith's Toys superstore recently, looking for Christmas presents, and there I saw it. My first, in real life, Skibidi toilet. You know, the Fortnite guy. This took me aback. It was an emotional roller coaster of surprise, shock, and most of all, discomfort at seeing something so internet-centered in real life. So, I got back home, loaded up the Nexus, and I found yet another Skibidi toilet. This had me thinking, what if we made the most brain-rotted Fallout New Vegas load order possible? And thankfully I wasn't disappointed. New Vegas has been out for over a decade, so there's a plethora of now outdated meme mods, although we're not going to be looking at them today. Instead, we're going to be focusing on some more contemporary examples. So we're going to be taking a look at some of these silly little mods today, and where better to start than with Skibidi Toilet. This mod adds a skull to every toilet in the game. Now, I'm not about to go searching every single place a toilet appears to check this claim, but I can confirm that this Good Springs house, despite having 2 beds, doesn't have a single toilet. So I decided to check the next nearest house, which was this one, but Gonna
kill you! Die! No!
Anyways, there's some armor and weapons in this trunk with absurd stats, and I can in fact confirm that this toilet does have the remains of a Skibidi toilet. Other places around the Mojave that have toilets I checked do indeed have skulls in them, and with this other mod you can sit on them. Don't ask me why I decided to include this. I found these at like 3 AM, my brain was in a different place. But by pressing grab, it will spawn a seat on the toilet letting you sit on it. You can sit on Skibidi Toilet's head in Fallout New Vegas. It also makes a really silly sound whenever you add or remove the seat. Oh, and NPCs can use them too. Ether813 commented on this mod with a poem I shall recite now. YOLO said the millennials, and yeet the zoomers cried. REDUX yap phantom tax, the alphas then replied. And there came a shaking as the ebon spire rose. Upon it writ the tongues of men their generation's prose. And from the sky a thunderous voice called out onto the stone, as golden letters glowed upon its surface, newly shown. REDUX yap phantom tax, Sigma Ohio Skibidi. And all beheld the words, embossed thereon in great timidity. With shaking and with wavering voice the grim refrain began, as all the generations sang the voice at its command. Their weeping and running sores did nothing to delay the chanting of that fevered song as night succumbed to day. But rose that morn a bright sun whose light scored like a flood. The sky was rent asunder, and the rivers turned to blood. Their flesh peeled off in sickly strips, their bones were rendered bare. And still they chanted on, the words they uttered there, until bone and flesh and earth were all foreign things, and still unbidden, undesired, the blackened spire sings. Around it wind the whispers of the souls in its captivity, REDUX yap phantom tax, Sigma Ohio Skibidi. Staying on the theme of Skibidi toilets, here's one that you can wear. This actually has incredibly lore-friendly implementation, which kind of took me by surprise. You can find it inside the NCR embassy and equip it. Honestly, this sort of fits in the wasteland weirdly. Because hey, what are the odds that someone like Nobark Newman would see a toilet and think it's their new shiny piece of power armor? One Nexus user commented on this mod saying, at least it's not paid horse armor, and to that I say so true. But first, to get to the embassy, we should show to the NCR that we're not parkour noobs, and prove our worth in parkour civilization, with the mod Jump Sovereign, which only lets us move by jumping. Holding down the space key or whatever you use to jump increases its power, and every 1,000 jumps, you'll get a buff. This buff improves some of your stats, so things like reload speed, weapon spread, and that sort of stuff. So after an ungodly amount of jumps later, we can pick up the Skibidi toilet from the embassy and use it for ourselves. After this adventure though, we need a place to rest, and where better to rest than... oh, fuck me. After this adventure, we need a place to rest though, and where better to rest than the Goon cave. But behind its hard-locked doors, we have to challenge what might be the last living gooner in all of the wasteland and end his edging streak once and for all. On his body we can find a manifesto which says, I have been around a great many years. My name does not matter, nor does my previous life. Not after the discovery of gooning. I now know myself as only the gooner. When the great fires fell from the sky, I fled to this cave for safety. It was then I knew my purpose. Minutes turned to hours, hours into days, then days into weeks. The weeks became months, and before my eyes it turned into years. My physical form has been altered due to the gooning. My psyche has ascended for gooning. I am a specimen specifically built and forged in the eyes of gooning. I dream of a world where everyone can goon. If people can experience the power of gooning, even a mere glimpse of it, the world would be different. Gooning, it changes people. It changes people for the better. Alas, the wasteland is not ready. I must goon until it's time to reveal myself to the world, and when that time comes, I will share gooning with anyone who wishes to follow in my footsteps. It's been a whole 5 minutes and I have not gooned. I stopped only to write this manifesto. I must return. And finally, we can inherit his title by interacting with the terminal. Here we can goon, jelk, and edge to our heart's content. X commented on this mod saying, I jelked, I edged, I conquered. But anyways, there's my pretty good Brainrot load order. Honestly, all of these mods mentioned, they're definitely some of the mods of all time. They each do what they aim to really well, and they're definitely worth the download just for a laugh. With the jumping mod in particular having great potential for a challenge run. With that being said though, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, maybe consider liking or subscribing, and I hope to see you all next time.
Oh.